big bag of tsamba and go alone, and water is everywhere, you see. And tsamba and tea and little butter, that's all they eat. And then try to meditate, practice. It's interesting. The idea is spiritual sacrifice. Kind of like courageously giving up attachment to material thing and so on, completely focus on the idea, courage, gives you tremendous spiritual strength. And just by simply doing that, kind of like lots of purification and the power of virtue tremendously increases. You see, it's just simply doing that. Even though it looks like, what's so important to do things like that, right? It may seem that way. But it's the principle that counts, that your willingness to give up on this, material attachment and so on. And you see, like I was mentioning to you the other day, root of all the evil in Buddhism, the original sin is, ignorant, and then ignorant, practically speaking, boils down to, self-grasping. And then manifest-wise, self-grasping is, manifested in being attached to everything, all kinds of material thing. You look, as far as your basic needs are concerned, if you have a decent amount of savings and money, is a very comfortable life. You see, people are never satisfied. Millionaires and billionaires and billions, The more you have, the more you want material things. That just shows bigger grasping, And then it will never be satisfied with no matter how much you have. And, the reason is, desire has no limit. Like the English saying goes, sky is the limit as far as desire is concerned, as it goes on and on and on. And now, spiritually speaking, Buddha Dharma-wise, what that indicates? That indicates because your mind's nature is emptiness, it can never be fulfilled with desire. Go on. There's no limit. This is the connection to it. You see? It's like that. Yeah, how are you going to fill up your empty mind? No, there's always more and more, So you understand, no point holding on to things. And then, with some token of deeper cherishing of the principle of letting go comes in, material thing, and charity, generosity, and so on, part of that. Offerings are part of that. In our tantric tradition, offering everything to Guru comes from part of that. You earn enormous spiritual point by doing so, towards your own freedom and liberation. See, that's the thing. Yeah, and then the nature and beauty of that practice in conventional world is also like offering and giving. The laws of nature is giving is receiving. You're holding on, the tighter you are, hold on, Then, you only earn a point of attachment. No any virtuous point you earn from that, see? Like that, right? Yeah. So training. Ultimate letting go is ego. See? Milarepa also said that, In the realm of where there is no ego clinging and grasping, that's when you come to an end, a perfection of charity. See? And that's it. You're not holding on to anything, then there's nothing to let it go also. Yeah. Yeah. And An enlightened Bodhisattva still will practice charity for the benefit of other sentient beings, but for your own need, it's already done, like that. Until that point, you have to do that. See? All the way from, helping whoever he or she is in the need and is asking for your help, then you have to help with whatever you can, things like that. Yeah. And by the way, initially, the help, you have to do it sincerely, but like, oh, I want to help. That's also, you cannot really actually truly help sentient being. Help here from Dharma practitioner's point of view is, if somebody needs help and you have to help, you cannot say like, oh, I don't want to involve in something, or, Otherwise, then it's a compassion problem. See, you have to help. Only true help, enlightened Bodhisattvas can only the one who can truly help. Until then, help is just some kind of conventional activity, but it's not a true help. Yeah. From Dharma's point of view, what constitutes true help is help, so that sentient being, the other sentient being, you are able to help that other sentient beings, and the other sentient being solve its problem in samsara. The biggest issue. Yeah. Until then, all help is conventional, relative, temporary. That's the thing. Yeah. So, like that, huh? Yeah. Okay.
Can you speak a little bit about the 37 practices of Bodhisattvas?
37 practices. 37 practices of Bodhisattvas. There's 37 verses. That's why the title comes from there. It's by a very, very great Tibetan Bodhisattva called Tonglen. Very great being. This being, the author of this 37 practices of Bodhisattva, he was so great. Even in, like very, very aggressive animals like tigers and leopards and whatever it is, just right in front of him, they're completely mellowed down. It's so great, this being. So, it's actually, the practice is based on idea of Tonglen practice. You all know Tonglen, right? The Bodhisattva training and taking and sending, giving and taking and giving, whatever, And it's a way of training your mind. Bodhisattva principle. The most beautiful thing. You see, I've been telling you that what constitutes a true enlightened path is practice that's completely based on complete love and compassion. If it's not based on that, it's not enlightened path. Very simple. That's the defining characteristic. You see? So, once you understand that this Bodhisattva path is the path, that will eventually help you achieve your own enlightenment and everybody else's enlightenment, whoever you have anything to do with, enlightenment. Then you start to cherish that, and if you struggle a little bit, because you're still your samsaric habits and karma and habit struggle, even you're fortunate to understand that, meet an enlightened guru, bodhisattva teachers, like, wow, this is real thing and I really want, but you still struggle your own. But then where there's a will, there's a way. And that just, you see, like I was saying, even most vicious person, most aggressive man, somebody who has anger issue all the time, who has compassion. to his own sons and daughters or something. It's not like that person has in his Buddha nature zero compassion. Not possible. You see, everybody has it. So the thing is, if that person is, recognizes that I have this issue and I need to change and I need to improve my love, compassion, and wisdom a little bit, then, you have to make effort. And if you make effort, then change, Right? So the same thing here. This Buddhist giving, taking, and so on is training towards improving your, quality of love and compassion in your heart, And training can be done. It's historically proven. Actual proof is Buddhist logic is Buddhas are the past, present, and the future. That's what Buddhists will say. Bodhisattva training truly delivers complete enlightenment, and you want the proof? The proof is Buddhas are the past, present, and future. This is how they will debate, in Buddhism. It really is, like that, huh? So you can train. And then in our Tibetan history, there were many stories of people who were like very short-tempered people. People very short-tempered, almost like anger, like very so easily gets angry somewhere. And then, somehow through some effort, meeting some wonderful teacher, it's like recognizes that he has an issue, and then change. And it was like, wow, he used to be so angry all the time. Now he's completely changed. Like many stories like this. It's through training, It really possible. Yeah. Now, if you listen to modern neuroscience researchers, they'll say, in your brain, how do you say? Things change. Neuroplasticity, they call it, right? If you train particular thing, then it can be trained and so on and so on and so on. So we're not going to be able to go through all the 37 verses, but basic principle here, in generating love and compassion and so on is two ways. One is this taking and ascending principle training. You've trained that, and then the other one is mother sentient being idea. And this again, those who have hard time, compassion for everybody else, you have to train your mind to come to truly believe in your heart, or come to a conviction in your heart that everybody is truly a mother sentient being, and there's a way of doing that. And there's about 7 different processes, So if you recognize particular sentient being as mother sentient being, then it starts with your own mother. That's the idea, mother, and then her kindness, and then you want some kind of you feel some gratitude in your heart, and then repayment. How do you say? And then you start, truly feel love, loving kindness, compassion, and so on like that. And then if you can really, generate that powerfully towards your own mother, then you just switch your mind and say, all sentient beings really mother sentient being. Then it's possible, Yeah, this mother sentient being idea is not just a nice, beautiful, spiritually fancy idea. It is really a fact, if you really understand. If you don't understand, that means you didn't understand the Buddha's teaching quite well. Yeah, those who understand, complete conviction arise in your heart that all sentient beings are mother sentient being. Our historical Buddha very famously said Not only all sentient beings are mother sentient being, but they've been our mother, played the role of our mothers and fathers in the past. Not just once, twice, 3, 4, 5, 6 times, infinite times. So that tells how long we've been, Want to know about the origin of our species and worlds and planet system and universe and galaxy? From Buddhist teaching, there is no beginning. Infinity. Finally, science is coming around and started to understand that. I heard the famous scientist Carl Sagan make that statement. So Carl Sagan, very brilliant actually. People, some like Professor Robert Thurman, making fun out of Carl Sagan. I so wonder, but actually, I have a lot of respect for Carl Sagan. I listened to some of his speeches. The guy is truly brilliant. Okay, he just doesn't know Dharma, but and a very decent human being and truly brilliant. And by the way, for your information, Robert Thurman, most of you may know, but he's a professor at Columbia University, very popular professor. And he was making fun out of Carl Sagan because Carl Sagan asked Dalai Lama about theory of reincarnation, because he didn't study Dharma. As brilliant as he is, he's open-minded though, I think. Then, Dalai Lama in his much younger days, he realized like this huge scientific academic community exists in the world, and he as a Buddhist leader trying to be nice to them, And then he's like, oh, if science has found out something to be true, then we, religious people, have to accept that and respect that, this and that. And so you keep on saying it's just to please the scientific community, From Buddhist point of view, we have no problem. If science truly find out the fact, we want to know the fact. You see? That's the truth. Thanks to Buddha, infinite thanks to Buddha, by understanding truth, you're free. No, understand, you're lost. Very simple, Buddhism. See, understanding truth here means you have to solve puzzle, your own puzzle. Understand your own mind. Emptiness, nature of mind. Beautifully luminous nature of mind. Sharp, penetratingly awareness nature of mind. Awakened nature of mind. Absolute bodhicitta. Then you solve the puzzle. Until then, puzzle is not solved. Telescope, microscope, calculation, mathematics. No, you're looking in the wrong place. You turn the other way around. Right? That's the thing, So, Carl Sagan, Dalai Lama's term. And there's actually video footage of that. Carl Sagan come down and told Dalai Lama, if science proves that there is no afterlife, there's no next life, will you accept that? And the Dalai Lama was a little bit shocked and kind of like, Dalai Lama knows Carl Sagan is a very famous scientist, so he's trying to be polite to him. And then he says, that will be very difficult to prove. And because of questions like that, people like Robert Thurman, is actually, you could say, Robert Thurman is a little bit like he's quite brilliant too, but he is also like a little bit like a radical Buddhist too, And then I saw Robert Thurman. The reason why I'm mentioning this, I saw Robert Thurman make a few sarcastic comments about Carl Sagan. That's why I'm mentioning this, okay? Yeah. Anyway, my point now, back to how the absolute reality is, Carl Sagan, in describing, he's an astrophysicist, you see. galaxies and galaxies, and then, you know, and now with much better telescopes and so on, they can see universe far beyond that they were ever able to see in the past. See? You know, a long time ago, they came up with this theory like Big Bang and so on. And by the way, I was told that the guy who discovered the Big Bang theory was a Belgium guy, and he was a Christian monk. Can you believe? Quite brilliant guy, you know. He was the one who theorized this thing. But then they can see now it's even beyond that, you know, and so on and so on and so on. And then Carl Sagan, responding to when the universes began, then he said, oh, something, the galaxies and stars that we can right now see with our naked eye through telescopes and so on. It's like maybe he thinks like maybe less than a 1% observable universe. And 99%, 0.99%, something, he theorized this, we still not able to observe. And then he theorized because the way how things goes on. And then he says, well, you know, galaxy looks like maybe it goes on. And maybe there is no beginning. You see? He's theorized like, maybe there is no beginning. And the current, very brilliant scientist, the British scientist, what's his name? Something. He was saying the same thing. You see, they come to realize that it can go on, and then kind of start to understand the phenomena of illusion has no beginning. Yeah.
Nowadays.
So now I need to make my point, and that point is Mother Sentient Being. Okay? Mother Sentient Being. And because there is no beginning, you have to understand this. Buddhist world, if you want to talk about world, beginningless, endless. There is no beginning, there's no end. You know? And if you listen to Buddhas and enlightened Bodhisattvas, then therefore, only issue is we are sentient beings. We cannot make, you know, ourselves not exist. We already exist. Now existence is already a fact, and therefore question only is, how do you want to exist? And if you listen to Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, you can exist enlightenedly. Okay? Yeah. As far as I'm concerned, that's the Buddhism in a nutshell. Enlightened way to exist. That's the core message of Buddha Dharma, as far as I'm concerned, you know. Yeah. Okay? And so, understanding Mother Sentient Being and love and compassion, where there's no beginning, infinite, this, is correct way of understanding. And then love and compassion is correct way of practicing. And then result of that will be, you know, real wisdom, dispelling confusion, illusion, and then become an awakened being. So 37 practices of Bodhisattva could do that. Okay. Okay. I think we don't have a lot of time now. Okay, I take one question.
Would it be possible to gain training in taking and sending at some
Is it possible to what?
Gain training in taking and sending the
Tonglen
Tonglen.
training.
What?
Can we do Tonglen training sometime?
Possible to what? Training what?
Tonglen.
Training?
Mm-hmm. Taking and receiving, like.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. You know, right now you don't have to do that. Okay? Actually, that's part of 3-year retreat training also. Yeah, one of the practice. Yeah. You know, where there is a sincere will, there really is a way out of this misery. See? You know? Yeah. Samsara, you know, if you can see it's very clearly how it is. Total mess, total mess. Yeah. Yeah. Human Ram is still very, very fortunate, you know. Amazing, you know. Yes. Okay, whoever. If from here I do this, if from here I do this.
Well, so one human protects from falling to the lower realms. Does it also protect us from being born above human realms so that we're, does it connect us to human realms so we will have the best chance?
No, I think, protect from falling lower realm. And you will always be in some kind of situation where there's a Dharma available. That's basically what it is, yeah.
I would like to ask about the custom here, because I'm here first time. And when we receive this water, this generous nectar from you, people when they beg, they do 3 prostrations. And is it a custom here, or this is a part of the practice?
Say that, I didn't understand completely. After receiving nectar, you should be prostration? What?
Is that part of the practice, or is that just
Custom here.
custom here?
Oh, no, not part of the practice.
Just a custom.
Yeah, that's just, usually. Yeah. Prostration is usually, and this is temple. See, the honorable tradition is, when you go out somewhere, every time you come back in temple, you bow 3 times. It's kind of like that. So you guys all get up and receive nectar water from me, and then go around and then bow 3 times, sit down. That's nice way, yeah. It doesn't, in the text, it didn't say you must do 3 prostration. Yeah.
Rinpoche,